Okay, these are some more difficult problems, a little bit more challenging. We're trying to get a little bit more in depth on using all of these rules together. Okay, on this one I've got a negative exponent, I've got a zero exponent, I've got the same base on top and bottom, so I've got a lot to do here. As well as I've got a coefficient on this one. Let's address the coefficient first of all. Okay, now this coefficient here, this is 4 over 4. Now if we remember the fraction, 4 divided by 4, that just equals 1. So immediately right here, I can just cancel those out. 4 divided by 4 equals 1, so I'm just going to put a line through those. I don't need to worry about those anymore, they're gone. Okay, so now I've got this y to the negative 3, z to the 0, divided by y. So I'm going to take it one step at a time. Remember, I'm not going to change this negative until the very end. Alright, so I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go y to the negative 3. And this is minus 1. Now remember, the exponent on this y is 1. So I'm going to bring this one up. That'll be minus 1 z to the 0. Notice how I completely get rid of my denominator altogether. I bring everything up. That's my first level there. If I need to at the very end, I'll bring one down. So let's do this right now. Y to the negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. Z to the 0. Now I know that z to the 0, anything to the 0 power is 1. So this is the same thing as y to the negative 4 times 1. Okay? Times 1. So it's just y to the negative 4. Well, on this negative 4, I can't have that as an exponent. So in order to get rid of that, I'm going to move it down to the denominator. So this would be the same thing as 1 over y to the 4th. This would be your answer. Okay, I want to do one more here. Okay, if on the top, let's say we have a 6x cubed times x squared y to the 0 times y, all divided by, now this is where we get a little more complicated, and we'll go with the 3 y to the negative 2 x squared. It sounds a little weird because we put them out of order, but sometimes you'll get these on your homework where they're out of order. Okay, remember you have to write them in order on your as your answer. All right, now on this one, the first thing I'm going to do is I have to identify this top portion. I want to simplify that top portion as far as I can go before I even worry about the bottom portion. Okay, so I've got a couple here. I noticed that I had the same base here and I had the same base here. These y's are the same, these x's are the same. So let's take care of those first. So I'm going to rewrite this one. This will be 6x, and if it's multiplication, they have the same base, we simply add their exponents. So this would be x to the 3 plus 2. Now I've got my y's. This is y to the 0. And remember the exponent on this one is 1. 0 plus 1. And again, it's all over 3y negative 2 to the negative 2 x squared. Okay? Alright, so let's simplify this a little bit further. This will be 6x to the 5th. Y, 0 plus 1 is 1, so just y. All over 3x to the negative 2, excuse me, it should be y to the negative 2, sorry about that. Y to the negative 2, x squared. Okay, now I'm looking at this one, I've got a 6 over 3. 6 over 3 as a fraction, if I were to write that, 6 divided by 3 equals 2. That 2 would remain on top. So I'm just going to do that now. 2. Now I've got to get all my x's together. I've got an x on top. This is x to the 5th. Little sign here. This is x to the 5th over x squared. So this will be 5 minus 2. That's a 2 here. Write that a little clearer. 5 minus 2. Y, and I've got a y, this is 1. Y to the first power minus negative 2. Minus negative 2. That one gets a little bit complicated. So let's simplify this. 5 minus 2 is 3. So this is going to be 2x to the third power. Y to the 1 minus negative 2. Minus negative, that's our same change, minus negative would turn into a positive. So this is the same thing as y to the 1 plus 2. And that would be y to the third. So our answer on this one would be 2x to the third, y to the third.